Hello, Chucklebucks! It's your boy, Dark Raku here with What If Issei was a mysterious vice commander. But yeah, mostly we go in. Yeah, this is part 3 of it. I mentioned something else. So the whole day was not that bad. Uh, Sorry, I'm stretching because I did just fell asleep like a while ago. I should have recorded, but I just like dropped dead. But yeah. I was too damn tired the whole day. Mostly when it didn't really help out that we did kind of went to a restaurant just to go eat because we were hungry as fuck. Of course, my sibling, one of my siblings, didn't really want to go, so of course we went to go buy them food, but we realized we didn't have enough money, so we just bought them the kids' fucking meal. I feel like they're pissed. It's not my idea. My dad literally just said, "Not fucking kids' meal." Kids meal was like $5, so we were like, fuck it, let's buy that. But yeah, of course, not the point. Let me just begin into what if. I know I'm rambling on now, but let me begin. And yeah, so we begin into mostly after mostly the meeting between Toma and Black Dragon. We go into mostly Friday. Now, Thursday was a fun day for Issei because he kind of went out with what's it called, mostly someone named Well, not really going on a date. Mostly he kind of got canceled. Mostly the date between him and one of Taiju's sisters kind of got canceled. And so it kind of went on to Friday, but mostly on Thursday he was basically just playing cards with Taiju. But yeah, Taiju and some of the others, but yeah, and the Black Dragon. mostly, mostly just fucking around. Taiju, he was kind of confused on why one of his sisters decided to cancel what's it called, the date between him, well, not him, mostly her and what's it called, mostly Issei. But yeah, of course, Taiju didn't really kind of crowbar or mostly just what's it called, just crowbar into mostly the what's it called relationship, but whatever. This worked well. He just thinks that maybe one of his sisters just got too nervous, but whatever. But we go into the next day, and this is where, well, we go into Issei kind of wearing something nice. Mostly, he's wearing a kind of like this. Mostly, he's going out with Yusaha, well, on this day. But yeah, mostly yesterday he was going out with, what's it called? He was supposed to be going out with Yusaha's sister, who is mostly her, like, twin sister, but yeah. And that is, her name was Xena, but yeah. This is where, well, of course, that didn't really go out, but yeah. But this is where, well, we go into Issei's kind of clothing and fashion. So he's wearing kind of these nice kind of shoes, or black kind of shoes, but yeah. Wearing black pants. This is where, well, he's wearing a black kind of shirt underneath his, what's it called, black suit that he's wearing. It's mostly not a black suit, it's kind of a dark kind of magenta purple suit. This is where, well, he has his hair kind of trying to look kind of nice. So he has it in the same fashion style, mostly having it into one side. Until mostly he decides to just put it back to normal and just thinks that maybe he shouldn't go like that. But yeah, this is where, well, he didn't decide to, well, not decide to. Mostly he didn't take his motorcycle. He instead kind of just runs towards mostly the location, but yeah. Or, well, no, he does take his motorcycle. And this is where, well, he has two different motorcycles. One is like for like gang stuff and other stuff, if you have to go into gang raids and other things. And the other one is mostly a motorcycle that he mostly uses when he's not going into like game war or any of that. This is where, well, so this is kind of like the motorcycle that he kind of just uses just to go on whatever, just to relax and other things, but yeah. And this is kind of the motorcycle that he kind of uses. Well, it's similar to the one that I'm thinking about. But mostly, this is kind of similar to the one that he kind of uses for gang war and other stuff. But yeah. But whatever. We go into mostly Issei kind of driving his like sport motorcycle race one. And of course, this is where he's like driving really fast. Of course, it's not reckless, but still, he's managing to kind of move around some of Tokyo's traffic bullshitness. But yeah. This is where he managed to get to the place that he was kind of caught upon, because it actually changed thanks to mostly Yuzu again kind of texting him. Well, mostly texting him and where to go, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei kind of just gets there. Right now, takes off the what's it called, mostly helmet that he had on top of his head, and puts it mostly down on the motorcycle. This is where he makes sure to lock it, and of course, make sure to do a magic circle so no one takes his shit. If someone does manage to take his shit, they're dead. They're literally dead. He doesn't care if it's a Kisuke or what they call whatever. It could be fucking Hama, and he's gonna beat the shit out of both of them. He doesn't care. He already has a plan there for fucking Valhalla. He already did talk to Draken and Toma, well, mostly Draken and Mikey about the whole thing of Valhalla. Of course, this is where, well, Draken had no reason into, like, disagree with what they call Issei trying to destroy Valhalla. Like, Toma also doesn't really like, what's it called, Valhalla and other things. Because they used to be, mostly, some of the members used to be a part of Mobius. And of course, some of their members in what's it called, Toma, hates what's it called, Mobius a lot because of the shady shit they have done in the past. But yeah, as it worked, well, mostly Mikey disagreed because he didn't want what's it called, someone named Kazutaro to kind of get hurt. And this is where Issei kind of mentioned that he was in a fight with Kazutaro anyway. Of course, this is where, well, he mentioned that he did get his fucking skull smashed in by a fucking metal pipe next. No thanks to fucking Kazutaro. And of course he probably would have had a concussion if he wasn't well, not normal most of the time. But of course, mostly Draken and Mikey understand what mostly Issei means about not normal. But of course, where, well, Issei said, but still, Kazutaro should be in a different dimension than what's it called, mostly being with Valhalla. This is where, well, both of them nodded. This is where Mikey says, good. I just don't want Kazutaro to get hurt, okay? This is where, well, Draken sighs and says, yeah, just, if Kazutaro manages to still kind of be in Valhalla, just knock him out. Please don't try to kill him. This is where, well, Issei says, no promises. I still kind of. This is where Issei clenches his hand, and this is where Draken understands what Issei means. Mostly, Issei doesn't like what's it called, Kazutaro at all. Hates him with mostly a fury of fucking hatred. This is where, well, Mikey then says, okay, then let's do this, Issei. This is where Issei said, huh? This is where, well, Mikey said that he wants to kind of go along into this raid to fight against Valhalla. Just mostly Mikey and Draken, he points out. Draken was confused. He said, wait, why are you dragging me along? And this is where, well, he then says, you and what's it called, Taiju should also come along. And then we just take out the, what's it called, Valhalla together. Besides, I still want to bring, what's it called, I want to talk to Kazutaro. Just Kazutaro has been avoiding me, like the plague or something. This is where, well, he just sighs and says, fine, then let's have a deal. You can gather however many people you want to gather to go on the whole raid against Valhalla. And I will talk to Taiju about this, okay? This is where, well, Issei puts out his hand right in front of, well, Mikey. Mikey grabs it and shakes it and says, deal. Don't you worry, Issei. I will be there to talk to Kazutaro. This is where, well, Issei said, fine. But if he doesn't listen, I'm punching him right in the fucking face. I'm breaking his fucking nose. This is where, well, Mikey right now, like, looks at and says, come on, Issei. Don't be mean to Kazutaro. This is where Issei looks away. This is where, well, Issei said, fine. Just make sure not to be too soft on him. This is where, well, Mikey just chuckles and says, don't worry. Well, good luck on your dates tomorrow on, say, Friday. This is where Issei says, how the hell do you know about that? Kiki. This is where, well, Mikey says, a man knows his way. This is where Issei says, you got told by your sister, didn't you? Okay, yes, I did. This is where Draken switches up and just says, well, if that's the meeting for today, then see you next time. This is where Draken gives out his hand towards Issei, and Issei shakes it and says, got it, man. See ya. This is where Issei just walks away, and of course, once he goes to his motorcycle and turns that on and just drives away, but yeah. This is where, well, we go back into Issei, kind of going into mostly his day, well, POV day. This is where, well, Issei gets to the store, and of course, where Issei is looking around, this is where a manager seems to kind of come up to him and says, hello there, is your name Issei, what's it called, Issei Shiba? This is where, well, Issei says, oh yeah, I forgot to take Shiba's name. Then again, Taiju did kind of adopt me into his family, if I kind of did if I didn't marry his two sisters, making me an actual part of Sheba. Never mind. This is where, well, Issei says, yes, it is. This is where, well, mostly the person nodded and says, follow me. This is where, well, Issei says, okay. This is where Issei looks all fucking nice in a place that doesn't look supposed to be looking nice most of the time. It's just casual people just dressing up casual, and Issei's over here looking completely different, like he's a fucking, what's it called, a hitman or something. But yeah, does it work? Well, we go into mostly Issei get into the place where he's going to sit down. But yeah, mostly when he gets to sit down, this is where, well, he noticed that two people sit next to him, and it's none other than what's it called, Yuzu, and of course, well, Yuzuhu, or not Yuzuhu, Yuzaha, and of course, Zenin, or Zana. This is where, well, they both sit next to him, and of course, they look completely just out of this world. They are kind of wearing this kind of dress that kind of sparkles. One is blue, and the other one's kind of like an orangey color. Of course, they both have their kind of like hairstyle different. One has it into two ponytails, while the other one has it into just a ponytail entirely. Mostly, yeah. This is where, well, they kind of have wear makeup and other things, and then, well, mostly they do kind of wear heels somewhat. And this is where, well, they're kind of just smiling at Issei, and Issei right now had to hold mostly his nose because he was about to have a blood nose. But this is where he noticed something. The table's a little too big for mostly those two to be just sitting next to him. This is where, well, Yuzuha kind of says, okay, you're probably wondering why we're sitting over here and not sitting across from you, and this table does seem a little bit too big for only like 3 people. Issei kind of notices, and this is where, well, Issei says, yeah, what is happening? Well, we kind of got texted by some special friends, or not special friends, mostly old middle school friends, if you remember them. Which I doubt, mostly because you barely even had an interaction with them. But they had an interaction with you, and they kind of did fail for you. This is where Issei says, where is this going, Issei? Issei switch up and just like laughing a little bit. This is where, well, Issei says, oh, well, they kind of met this person in a different place, and yeah, they fell for him, but of course they don't really know his name entirely. But they just asked us if we had anyone else that we kind of could share with, or just like tell them about. And we are just thinking to maybe share you with some other people. Issei switched up to say, Yuzaha, why didn't you tell me this before becoming like this? Because you look great, but there's a couple of people coming here, and mostly all of them are females. Yeah, I would expect all of them to be females. None of them are guys, especially. I'm not trying to get trapped or whatever bullshit of that. No, none of them are guys. Unless you know, Issei said, I'm not gay. I know one person who's literally gay, and that his fucking name is, what was his name? Oh yeah, Kazutaro. This thing where, mostly Yusuha says, she sighs and says, do you hate him still? Issei says, oh, I definitely still hate him. I hate him so fucking much. But not the point. I'm not trying to ruin the vibe of what's it called, mostly this date. And it's weird kind of appearance, but yeah. That's it where, well, Issa has kind of like waves a manager here, or mostly like a servant. Or just, yeah, a server. And ask him to kind of bring wine, and this is where it went. The person nodded and of course went off, but yeah. This is where Issei looks confused and says, I thought you didn't drink. This is where Yusuha kind of says, huh? You think I don't drink? Well, I don't drink anything powerful like alcohol or like, what's it called? It's just a drinking problem like, what's it called? Vodka. This is where, well, Issei says, huh? I don't drink that. What are you talking about? This is where, well, Yusuha kind of just looks at him with narrow eyes and says, bullcrap. Stop the fucking lying. This is where Issei chuckles, just sweat dropping, but yeah. Okay, maybe I do drink that a little bit. Uh-huh, whatever. I do drink alcohol, just wine and other stuff. I only like the whole kind of very powerful drink, but yeah. Issei kind of chuckles and says, okay, what type of wine are you getting then? This is where Issei kind of looks at the menu. This is where, well, mostly Issei says, oh, shit, I forgot to ask them what type of wine. Oh, shit. Don't worry, they'll probably just give you the kind of just original type of wine. Or mostly just the original since you didn't ask in which type you actually wanted. There's grape, there's, what's it called, sweet, there's the blah, blah, blah. But yeah. So where, well, Issei says, okay, I mean, maybe I should look through the menu. Yeah, I should probably look through the menu. This is where Issei chuckles at Yuzuha's kind of like unknowing character, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei just chuckles with a little kind of grin on his face. Yuzuha says, stop grinning like that. You look like a mad person. Issei says, well, it's funny to me because you are actually so cute when you actually make mistakes like that. This is where Yuzuha kind of blushes, and this is where, well, Yuzuha says, stop with that whole stuff. No, 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 no. Just look away from me, jerk. This is where, well, he says it's fine. I'll look at Zonia. Or mostly Zenia. Or Zenia? Wait, what did I call her? Yeah, Zenia. This is where, well, he kind of looks towards Zenia, and Zenia kind of blushes and says, don't look at me. Look back at my sister. This is where, well, she kind of said under her breath, but yeah. This is where, well, Issa says, you heard her. Yusuha kind of just put the paper right in front of her, almost the menu, and says, go away. This is where Issa says, where am I going to look if I can't look at my two beautiful dates? This is where, well, mostly some people managed to get out of the crowd, or mostly like a servant was kind of like bringing them to the table, and this is where he kind of said, this is the table. And this is where, well, they started sitting down. Of course, this is where when Issa kind of noticed and who these people were sitting down, they weren't wearing kind of casual, but actually kind of fancy clothes that kind of go up to their kind of like mostly body and kind of tighten up a little bit and kind of showing some curves. This is where, well, Issei noticed one girl with kind of white hair, bluish eyes, wearing a dress that was, well, this is where, well, mostly, yeah, it was a kind of like white but blue kind of dress at the same time. Well, it kind of had these blue lines kind of going around the dress mostly. Of course, it did kind of sparkle a little bit similar to that of Yuzuha and even Zenya's kind of, or Zenia? Or Zenia? Yeah, Zenia's kind of like dress, but yeah. Of course, where, well, when she sat down and kind of looked across from her and saw mostly Issei's eyes, they both widened in an instant and said, oh, hell no. This is where, well, Issei said out loud, while the other girl kind of just got startled of, like, Issei's kind of, like, shout a little bit. This is where both Yuzuha and even, what's it called, Zenia kind of widened their eyes because mostly the loud, oh, hell no, by Issei, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei kind of startled the other people, but yeah. Mostly, he kind of narrowed his eyes to the others, of course, saw a girl with kind of blackish hair, of course, having these violet eyes, and of course, this is where, well, she was wearing a black dress. Mostly, it kind of looked like this, but yeah. Mostly, it looked like this right here, but yeah, it's none other than Rainer, but yeah. This is where, well, the girl kind of got startled also. This is where, next where was another kind of person with kind of a kimono, well, kind of a black but red kimono that she was wearing. Of course, she had her hair into a ponytail, well, behind her. This is where, well, she kind of had yellow slick eyes, and of course, where she should have had her ears and tails out, but she didn't want to startle the humans that were in this store. But yeah, it's none of the Kuroka. This is where, well, she got startled, and this is where, well, next to her is a girl with kind of blondish hair into two ponytails. Well, mostly, for right now, it's not into two ponytails. Mostly, she kind of has, it's mostly palish, blondish, rose hair that she has, dullish blue eyes, and of course, palish skin that she has, wearing a kind of dress that, so, this one is having a kind of red dress, a crimson kind of red dress, and this is where, well, she kind of widened her eyes after seeing Issei, because Issei seemed startled from the first person that sat down, but yeah. Of course, this is where it's not the last person, there were actually 5 people, and the other person that Issei noticed was someone that he also got startled from the instant, because, well, she had tannish skin, greenish eyes, and of course, dark brown hair, and the dress that she was wearing was, well, so this other person kind of had not her hair in a ponytail, but mostly she kind of had it down. Of course, she had orange kind of highlights around her hair, well, near the bottom. This is where, well, she's also wearing a kind of kimono that has like these, well, it was black. They kind of had a yellow kind of stripe outline. This is where, well, from the inside of the kimono was kind of a red kind of flower kind of being around it. But yeah, this is where it seems to be tightened, well, mostly hugging her kind of like curves. And of course, making her pretty damn cute in Issei's opinion. But yeah. This is where, well, Issei kind of sees them all. That's where he noticed two other people, but he just pays attention to the 5 people that he just didn't see, like, about a couple of days ago. This is where Issei goes, fuck. Yusaha, I thought you said you wanted to meet me with some special friends. Not my whole entire enemy side that I don't want to see half the time. This is where, well, Yusaha said, huh? Wait, what? Huh? Oh, what do you mean? This is, well, mostly, I wasn't expecting her to bring, like, some other people. But you do remember Junko, right? This is where, well, she kind of points at the blondish hair girl, which the blondish hair girl kind of just look at Issei. And of course, is where, well, she wasn't expecting to see Issei, the same person that was none other than the user of the Void Gear, but yeah. Who kind of was in their house in a different dimension. But this is where, well, she wasn't expecting to see him here. This is where, well, Issei says, oh, Junko, wait a minute, Junko, that reminds me, that girl that was kind of a little nervous and kind of stuttery, are you talking about that girl? This is where, well, mostly, Yusaha says, no, that was actually, what's it called, someone else, that was mostly her friend, I think so. Do you not remember Junko, the girl that kind of tried to manipulate multiple guys into doing her bidding in middle school? Issei said, oh, now I remember. Yeah, okay, now I remember. I did have to save her from some delinquents before. This is where, well, Junko kind of whined her eyes and said, oh, right, those delinquents. Yeah, I don't remember what their gang name was again. What was her name? The Red Bug something. The Red Scorpion, I think so. Yeah, I broke their fucking leader into 2 pieces. Like a 2-piece combo. Not even a 2-piece combo. I literally just stomped his face into that, well, ground, but not the point. This is where, well, Junko kind of says, and I always did kind of like it a lot. He made him feel kind of despair. This is where, well, she kind of has heart in her eyes and then shakes it off and says, oh, he didn't hear me say that. This is where, well, Yusaha kind of just giggles at mostly Junko's reaction. While mostly, Junko just blushes and looks away. Issei seems to be blushing also and just looking down but saying, yeah. Mostly, yeah, that was, yeah, interesting. This is where, well, mostly Junko nodded. This is where Junko says, I brought, well, my sister and my friends along. Well, mostly my 2 sisters and 2 other friends of hers. And a couple of friends behind me, but yeah, since I met them in high school, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly all of them kind of did try to introduce himself. Mostly, first is none other than Rainer, and Rainer says, the name's Rainer. Well, you already know that, Issei-kun, so, Issei says, don't bother introducing yourself. Sure, hello, Rainer. This is going to be our second date, isn't it? Well, our first date didn't go that planned, did it? This is where Issei has some, almost a venom into his, like, tone. This is where, well, Rainer flinches a little bit, but yeah. This is where next is Valerie, and Valerie says, Valerie Lucifer. This is where Issei says, Valerie, you don't need to freaking say your name, just say Valerie, and that's, why am I here? This is the worst fucking thing that can ever happen to me. This is where we go into 2 people laughing in his head right now, dying of laughter. This is where it's none other than Kusho and what's it called, Drake, just dying, and then they're never expecting this shit to ever happen. This is where, well, we go into the next person. This is where Kuraka says, the name is Kuraka. Mia. This is where, well, Issei says, oh god, please don't ever do this shit again. This is where Issei almost fell down. This is where, well, just out of what the fuck. This is where, well, next is none other than the girl that mostly would have easily beaten him because he was injured against Arthur. Or kind of injured. He was just very injured in the first place before Arthur and anyone else. But yeah, this is where, well, she said her name is, what's it called? This is where, well, she said her name is Himeria. And of course, this is where, well, she then kind of apologized for ever attacking Issei. And this is where Issei says, it's fine. This is where he wipes his hand off, but yeah. This is where, well, she sighs and says, oh, that's good to know. This is where, well, Junko then says, what are you two doing over there? This is where, well, mostly two other people that are mostly sitting at another table. And this is where, well, they kind of just jump up and say, yeah, sorry. This is where they went to sit down, of course, next to kind of, well, Himeria. Of course, a girl with kind of orangey hair. And of course, where, well, her eye color is, she has kind of yellowish orangey eyes, kind of tannish skin, reddish hair. Well, kind of reddish orange hair. And this is where, well, she say her name is Yunji, something else, but don't worry about that. This is where, well, the other person had kind of like bluish, kind of darkish bluish hair. Of course, she had kind of palish skin and mostly. So the other one had kind of like bluish hair, it's kind of long, and of course, it worked well. She had it in a ponytail. The other person did have it in a ponytail. But of course, she had silver eyes, and this worked well. Her name was Dejan. Of course, it worked well. They look to be both Korean, but yeah. This is where when Issei noticed him, this is where, well, he kind of he winded his eyes and said, oh, hell no. This is where, well, mostly, not Draken, Drake and mostly Kushin kind of ask him, and what he's kind of saying, oh, hell no for, because they have never seen these people, especially if they're wearing the Chaos Brigade. This is where Issei said, oh, god damn it. This is where, well, so this is where, well, Issei is so damn confused, and, well, not confused, mostly he just says, oh, hell no. Both of his dragons just looks at him confused, and this is where he just says, these are basically my childhood bullies, somewhat. I think they were in my middle school also, or before going, yeah, towards, Tokyo. But, or they were in Tokyo, I just decided to ignore them entirely. But always they try to fight me, well, mostly get their kind of boyfriend someone to fight me, and I usually break their boyfriends into two most of the time, but yeah. So they tried to believe, but you never did let that shit happen? Of course not. This is where Issei said, yes, nice to meet you. Issei falls down forward, or mostly falls down forward and says, I fucking hate life. Why does life want to just screw me over any single time I have something good going on for my life? But this is where, well, the seven, well, mostly, yeah, seven girls are kind of just sitting in front of Issei, of course, is where, well, two of them are his two kind of, like, girlfriends, well, actual girlfriends, kind of sitting also, well, beside him, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly they kind of do get wine, well, mostly the person finally brings wine, and of course, realizing he only brought, like, a couple of cups, realizing that he didn't bring enough cups, like he brought like a total of like 9 cups, but there were supposed to be 10. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei did just kind of ignore the whole wine and just said, hey, come here for a second. This is where, well, the person did not it, goes up to Issei, and Issei whispers something into his ear, and this is where the person says, oh, well, we don't have that, but we do have something else. Do you want that? I think it's kind of similar strength towards it. Issei said, I don't give a damn, just give me something that's strong enough for me to pass the fuck out later. This is where, well, mostly Yuzaha kind of heard this and says, Issei, what are you getting? This is where the person says, okay, I'll bring it to you. This is where Issei says, bring it in the cup that doesn't look like it's suspicious as hell, okay? This is where Issei kind of told him before he left. This is where, well, mostly the person nodded. And of course, this is where, well, Issei said, oh, just asking for a specific wine that I wanted to get. This is where, well, Issei says, it's not vodka is you're getting. This is where Issei says, no, they don't even have that shit here. I asked, but I decided to just get something else, okay? This is where, well, mostly the 7 girls that were kind of drinking the wine, which it was kind of bitter for them because they never did drink any alcohol in the first place. This is where, well, when they hear about vodka, they were like, what the fuck is that? This is where, well, mostly, what's it called? One of them thought of a cow because vodka does kind of sound like vodka, or like vodka, or vodka, but yeah, you get the point. This is where, well, Issei said, besides, what are we gonna be talking about? I really don't have anything to talk about. My enemies from Chaos Brigade, and especially my bullies. Or mostly childhood kind of bullies. They tried to bully me once, and yeah, their boyfriends got knocked into well, hell, next time, but yeah. This is where, well, you said, like, wait, who the hell are you talking about? The two girls, you know, the red hair and, what's it called, bluish hair? This is where, well, you said, I was like, oh, I didn't know that was actually a thing. Wait, you never did tell me about this. Well, before meeting you and Taiju, I kind of dealt with their kind of bullshit, and they did try to make me their fucking gopher, but I never did let that shit happen. Instead, I threw their boyfriends out the window and said, good luck with that. This is where, well, mostly dates, mostly user has says, how about let's just start with that story? Issei says, no, before, let me just give a drink for a second. Or can we just order food? This is where, well, mostly user has says, fine. But you're gonna be freaking telling me everything you know about all these people in front of us. Except for Junko, you don't know her, do you? Hell no, I just barely saw her in Chaos Brigade. But yeah, this is where, well, Yusaha kind of nodded. This is where, well, he says, yeah. That's all I know about her. Yeah, except for her kind of, very desires of despair, but yeah. Okay, I think anyone knows about her psychotic tendency, but yeah. This is where, well, the seven girls are kind of just looking at Yusaha and even Issei. They're whispering most of the time, but yeah. This is where Senya is kind of just looking at the menu, but yeah. She's hearing this, but yeah. This is where, well, the person came back and kind of says, okay, here you go. This is where, well, he then kind of posts out a kind of like notebook and says, do you people want to order now or not? This is where Issei said, yes. This is where Issei kind of said, can I just get steak? And of course, this is where he mentions the sightings or whatever. This is where Yusaha does also mention what she wants, and even Zenia. This is where, well, the person nodded and then looks at the other girls. And this is where, well, mostly, they start kind of ordering slowly. Of course, this is where Rainer doesn't know what to order. Of course, this is where she orders something similar to her sisters, but yeah. This is where, well, with everything, well, the person kind of just goes off, but before going off, he kind of whispers under his breath, that lucky son of a bitch. This is where, well, he kind of tells Issei, because Issei literally is surrounded by females. Because this man thinking that Issei literally has a harem, but this is just unlucky for Issei's day, but yeah. He just doesn't know how unlucky Issei is, but yeah. People around him literally think that he's lucky as hell, but Issei literally hates his life because this shit was not planned for anything. But yeah. Of course, while everyone is waiting on their food and other things, Issei takes a sip of his drink and it's like, oh, not actually powerful too. This is where, well, Issei kind of said under his breath, but yeah, because he took a sip of, what's it called, something called bourbon? Wait, let me actually, I don't remember. This is where, well, mostly it's called bourbon, and of course, this is where, well, he's kind of drinking it. This is where it's kind of burning his throat, but fuck it, it's still good enough. He'd rather feel pain than actually listen to everyone's bullshit for a second, but yeah. This is where, well, he gets a text by someone, and of course, this is where, well, mostly someone else kind of sits down into their table, but yeah. This is where they kind of notice, and of course, Junko says, glad that you can make it, Anis. This is where a girl with kind of orangey hair and of course goldenish eyes kind of appear, but yeah. Well, yeah, kind of goldenish hair, but yeah, this is where it's kind of short, and of course she's wearing a kind of like orangey dress that's kind of sparkles a little bit, but yeah. This is where, well, she kind of has massive, yeah, you get the point. And this is where, well, Issei notices and says, don't know who she is, but she kind of feels holy energy. I guess exorcist, angel, or whatever bullshit. Goddamn. Gotta keep drinking. This is where Issei took another like huge drink of his like fucking alcohol, but because he just doesn't care that much. This is where, well, Issei says, oh, whatever, let me just look at the text that I got. Now I should mention one thing, Issei was kind of hearing music during this whole fucking time, but yeah. The song he's hearing right now, before he kind of like switches it off to another song, but the song that he was hearing right now was, so the song was called Cold as Ice by Blacklit, was it called District? But this is where, well, he was hearing that, and there's like, Cold as Ice. This is where, well, he then switches it to another song called, so the song was called, Glass, or mostly Castle of Glass, made by Linkin Park, and this is where, well, Issei is hearing that song, but of course he went to check on his messages, and he looks towards mostly a message from Mikey, or not really Mikey, it was actually from Draken. And this is where Draken says, so where are you at? That's where Issei says, on a date. Okay, cool. So Enma wanted to ask you if, what's it called, or mostly ask you and Yusaha if it's okay to go on a double date. This is where Issei says, so like a double, mostly you two, with the 11 girls that I'm with right now. Why the fuck are you with 11 girls? Don't ask me. Ask Yuzaha. This is her plan. I don't know why she does. This is both Yuzaha and Zenya's kind of fault because I have no clue what the hell they plan. But there's actually 11 girls entirely here. Excluding what's it called, mostly both of my original dates. There's about like 8 girls here. This is where, well, mostly, not 8, mostly 9 or, yeah, something like that. Or, well, not 8. Yeah, somewhere like that. This is where, well, mostly Draken says that just sucks. But that's not the problem I'm calling you. Well, yeah, that's one problem. But I wanted to actually talk to you while, well, mostly Yuzaha or even Zennya kind of just talks to Enma. I wanted to talk to you about what's it called, the whole kind of war between what's it called Valhalla, Toma, and what's it called Black Dragon. It seems that mostly another gang is kind of getting involved. This is where, well, he just switch up and say, that's getting me more of a headache. I'm literally drinking bourbon, and right now, well, yeah, that's the alcohol call, but right now, I'm getting more of a headache than normal. This is where, well, mostly Jock and says, you're drinking that this early on? Goddamn. Why are you drinking that early on? This is where he says, okay, I wasn't expecting the girls that, what's it called, my girlfriends to invite in the first place to be more troublesome. This is where, well, mostly Jock and says, okay, never mind, I understand now. This is where, well, Issei says, okay, but still. So, which gang is joining? This is where he texts back towards Draken. Draken says, okay, the gang we still don't have a very conclusion, well, mostly a clue or mostly a conclusion state. We can't tell if it's what's it called Mobius again, like fully Mobius's group with what's it called, what was it called with Okisho kind of like joining up with fully what's it called Valhalla, or it's another gang. This is where, well, he just says conclusions of any other gang joining. Which one is the most likely to join Valhalla? This is where, well, mostly Draken says, the most conclusion one to actually join will be from another part of Tokyo. And if you remember which part of Tokyo that would be sorry, says, don't tell me it's what's it called. This is where Issa says, please don't tell me it's Tenchico kind of joining Valhalla, because that would be such more of a pain than normal. This is where Draken says, there's a good chance that Tenchiku is kind of joining up with what's it called, Kisame, Kisuke, and also, well, Hanma. And that means, you know damn well the, what's it called, mostly Mikey's adopted older brother will be there. That's right, he says it. And he was such a pain when me and Mikey were fighting him. He was a little bit stronger than us during middle school time. This is where, well, Draken says, who do you think will win, you or him? This is where, well, he says, but for right now, well, he says, then texts back and saying, I can't tell if he gotten any stronger or not. We haven't fought since middle school. This is where, well, since that one incident. Draken nodded and says, that is true. Well, shit. So, yeah, I would just like to talk to you about that. Mikey doesn't know about this, so I don't actually want to involve Mikey if that's the best possible chance. Issei nodded and says, don't worry, dude. Well, he texted back saying, well, don't worry, dude. I'll definitely talk to you. After, well, mostly my date. What do you want to talk about? Because we did put the plan of date that it will be into 3 months, or mostly 2 or mostly 1 month later about Valhalla's raid. Or when do you want to talk about? This is where, well, we'll see. Draken says, I would have loved to talk today, but it seems that you were having problems with the girls. This is where Issei says, actually, I really don't have anything to talk about here, so just show up and go to one of the tables, and I mean, me and Emma can just switch for a second. This is where, well, Draken says, is it not a problem? Issei says, I bet it's not. It's fine, Draken. This is where Draken says, okay, where are you at? This is where Issei sent the address, and this is where Draken says, I mean, it's not expensive, but it's kind of a pain in where I'm at. This is where Issei says, you don't got a motorcycle? No, I do. I'm right now riding it with my girlfriend. This is where I'm kind of teaching her how to drive. So you're basically your first date and ever, you're teaching her to drive. Hey, shut up. This is where, well, Mostly Issei didn't get a text back, and this is where Jocken says, "We almost crashed." This is where Issei chuckles and says, "Dude, you're just gonna come over here or not, or you're gonna die before you even get over here." This is where Jocken says, "Shh, shut the hell up. I'm going." This is where Issei says, "Just hurry up." Before what's it called? My girlfriend says I changed her mind in a lot of shit. This is where Jocken says, "Your two original girlfriends or your new 8 girlfriends entirely?" Actually, it's not even a girlfriend no more. It's probably just a harem. He says, "I don't want harem no more." This is where Jocken chuckles. Just mostly sends laughing emojis while kind of getting towards mostly the store. But yeah, he kind of took over. Well, we go into Jocken's POV. Jocken kind of like puts his phone in his pocket. Of course, they're luckily in a bush, mostly Emma and him, and this is where in the motorcycle. He gets on his motorcycle, checks it to see if it's good, no scratches, no nothing. And then says, "Hey Emma, come on." This is where Emma says, "Huh? Wait, where are we going?" "We're going into a fancy store. Don't you want to see Yuzuha and what's it called? Issei's kind of like first day in a while?" This is where, Emma says, "Yes, let's go spy on them." This is where, mostly Jock and Chuckles, and of course they start driving towards mostly their location, but yeah. This is where, Emma says, "How do you know about this place?" "Don't worry about it, okay?" This is where, mostly I got a text from, Yuzuha's other sister. "Oh, I see." "Okay." This is where, or not other sister, mostly, Hawkeye. This is where, it's complete bullshit, but yeah. This is where Emma says, "Okay." We go into mostly, like 20 minutes later. Of course, the food came. This is where, Issei's eating and waiting at the same time. This is where, mostly, Junko starts the conversation, kind of asking how long mostly Yuzuha and Zinnia are kind of dating, what's it called, Issei. This is where, they both blush in an instant because they said not too long, like about 1 month. This is where, Junko says, 1 month? Seriously? I thought you girls be dating him for like 2 years, even after high school. Well, he went back to Kuo. This is where, Yuzuha kind of said. This is where I'm back to original town, and this is where, mostly, Valerie kind of interrupted and says, "Then why is he here in Tokyo?" This is where, Yuzuha kind of just looks at Issei to see if he will kind of look worried and kind of annoyed with the question. But this is where Issei sighs and says, "The reason why I left Kuo and the reason why I'm back in the gang, or mostly just joined the gang a while ago and became the Black Dragon Vice Commander, is because of personal reasons. You will understand, right, Valerie? Because I don't really want to explain. I'm still trying to get too drunken enough to even understand half the words I would say later." This is where, Valerie says, "And what personal reasons are that? And also, don't you dare get drunken." This is where, Issei says, "God damn it. Fine, whatever." This is where Issei says, "My personal reasons is, first of all, one of them is what they call that red hair slut. This is where, the girl with kind of reddish orange hair kind of just froze in an instant. This is where Issei kind of narrows his eyes and says, "I'm not talking about you, idiot. Also, I'm not talking about you with the highlights." This is where, they both nodded slowly. This is where, Valerie narrowed her eyes and says, "You're talking about Rias, aren't you? Don't mention her stupid fucking slutty name again in my face." This is where, Valerie was kind of confused and shocked to actually believe Issei's quite angry against Rias, but yeah. Mostly the last time that she saw them was mostly they were kind of like lovey a little bit, but now it's Issei doesn't give a damn about her. But yeah, this is where Issei just says, "So for personal reasons, I was about to confess to her, of course, where about my love somewhat to her. It was kind of unconditional or whatever. I started following her for her, but a little bit. Of course, she didn't let me finish. Of course, this is where she mentioned that Ryza will be a better lover. Of course, I decided not to even try again. This is where, my emotions and feelings were unstable until I texted Yuzuha here, my beautiful girlfriend. This is where Yuzuha kind of blushes in an instant. Of course, we met up at a cafe. We then kind of said that, mostly Yuzuha kind of wanted to go bring me to see Taiju. When me and Yuzuha kind of went to see, what's it called, Taiju wanted to see if I am still, mostly someone that can still rival him. Of course, we fought for a little bit. I kick his ass. Actually, no, it was a tie. That's a complete lie. But yeah, I was kind of rusty, but of course I still had enough kicking spirit to punch the shit of him. But yeah, before I kind of got overpowered in the battle with Supernatural, because yes, Taichu's a supernatural being. Well, not entirely, but he has one of his dragons. If you remember what I was talking about, that to Orpheus. This sort of already nodded. Of course, he uses his own sacred gear. I was getting my ass kicked until I woke up my other sacred gear, and if you already know which one is that, then yeah, this is where I've already nodded. I awakened it, of course, during the whole battle. Of course, there's a tie. We almost lost to both of us, each other in their attacks. Luckily, my Yuzaha and also Senator, here is Xena kind of managed to stop the attack from actually killing each other. But yeah, me and what's it called, Taiji. But yeah, this is where Yuzaha and Tsuneya kind of looks at Issei and says, "Idiot." This is where Issei says, "Sword drops and say." But yeah, of course, after that whole battle me and Taiju had, this is where Issei said, I kind of figured out that Taiju was 50% dragon and the one who was kicking my ass. And of course, I realized that I didn't want to be a demon, and especially being with the red hair slut that much. And of course, with Damparage, because they berated me for bullshit, because even though I took forever to, confess, because I was still emotionally scarred. By who else? Issei points at Rainer. Literally made it fucking obvious that Rainer actually scarred his fucking life, but yeah. This is where, Rainer kind of switches up and kind of hides behind Junko, a little bit scared and nervous, when Issei kind of just pointed at her. Well, even looking at her, he didn't care. Mostly he just snapped his fingers and pointed at her. But that's not the point, or dare it not, I don't care. It doesn't mean I won't forgive her or whatever bullshit. But yeah. Of course, instead of being a demon, a 50% demon with the evil pieces, I decided to ask my dragons to reborn me as a dragon. So that means getting rid of the 50% demonic energy that I had in my body to that of a dragon. So of course I'm a 50% dragon and 50% human. So yeah, mostly the 50% dragon is between the mixture of both Kusho and also what's it called, Drake. So yeah. Of course, you should have realized that I should have had what's called red highlights, which I do, but I mostly dyed them to being kind of purple because I actually like purple a lot. This is where, it kind of says, yeah, you motherfucker, just keep it red and purple. Or mostly more dominant red. This is where Kusho says, shut the fuck up, Drake. No. Keep it fucking purple. This is where Drake and Kusho are kind of arguing. Even though Drake knows that Kusho's much more powerful than him, they kind of argue, but yeah, they mostly joke around, but yeah. This is where Kusho is actually quite laid back for being a dragon god, but yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. This is where, Issei says, but yeah. There's my story and how I met what's it called. Issei wanted to say, that's how I met your mother, but yeah. This is where, Issei said, that's how I met Yuzaha and Zunia, and that's how I became a gang member. Meh. This is where, Valerie says, well, that's interesting. Wait, what even happened after that? Oh, yeah. Me and Taiju kind of went, mostly, I went back to Kowa just to say that I want to drop out after beating the shit out of some gangsters. But after that, I also kind of, mostly Yuzaha, Taiju, and what's it called, Zinnia, kind of went towards my school just for Taiju just to beat the shit out of, Sanji, punching the shit of him, and then get into my house. Of course, Taiju threatened my parents to say if they ever bother me again, Taiju was going to murder them. This is where, Valerie says, and you're okay with that? Issei said, hell yes. Those motherfuckers really fuck over my life by going back into Kuo. If we never went to Kuo, that means I would have never need to meet you. This is where, Valerie says, harsh as hell, aren't you? This is where Issei says, harsh as hell and truthful as hell. So, yeah. This is where, Valerie says, I see. This is where, mostly, Issei then explains, and we also did beat the shit out of, mostly Ria's cheating on me. Well, mostly, even though the confessment was kind of over, they kind of fucked a guy in my fucking room, mostly all the girls, even what's it called, Ria's. That being Riser Phoenix, the same guy I beat the shit out of not too long ago. But yeah, that shit was wild. Taiju was kind of beating the shit of him with just human strength, while I was easily defeating the girls with just easily my own pure speed and strength. Of not even being a dragon, I just did train for a while and kind of got back my human original speed and power. But yeah, not the point. This is where, well, mostly Valerie nodded. This is where all the girls kind of nodded and felt quite bad for Issei. This is where, well, Issei, even though he might look like he's unstable and doesn't care too much about people's feelings, he kind of went through a lot. This is where, well, Issei says, but whatever. This is where, well, Draken actually shows up with Enma. This is where Draken says, hey guys. This is where, well, Yuzaha says, wait, Draken, what are you doing here? And also, Enma, what are you doing here? Enma was confused and says, what is happening? This is where, well, mostly Draken says, I'm gonna need your boyfriend for a second. I need to talk to him about what is it called, gang-related problems. So, of course, I'm gonna switch him out with Enma, so, yeah. This is where, well, Issei jumps out of his chair and says, so, yeah, good luck, Enma. Also, make sure not to fuck up anything. And also, don't drink my alcohol. Yeah, that's probably a bad idea. This is where Issei takes his, glass back up towards himself and says, I'm just gonna talk to, what's it called, Draken for a second, Yuzaha. This is where, problem came up and we gotta talk. This is where, well, mostly Yuzaha says, This is where, well, Emma says, so I guess Draken just stole your date. This is where, this is where Yuzaha says, I hate them. I hate them so much. Why, fuck's sakes. The second in command in Toma and basically the second in command in Black Dragon has to really just ruin this date even further. This is where, well, mostly Junko kind of giggles and says, you seem quite distressed, Yuzaha. Why is that? I don't hate their problems and what's it called, the gang-related problems, biker gang and other stuff. It's just Issei takes it a little bit not that serious. Well, he does sometimes, just because he's worried about everyone entirely in both gangs, Toma and Black Dragon. Especially Toma, since Mikey and him are basically good friends in middle school. You do remember that, right? Junko? This is where Junko says, Mikey. Who's that? I'm talking about what the car. This is where mostly, Yuha kind of explains Mikey's real name. This is where, well, she then says, I'm talking about Manjiro Sano. This is where Junko says, oh, you're talking about that blonde hair dude. He was shorter than Issei, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. He had kind of dullish dark blue eyes that were emotionless most of the time. But of course, being around Issei was kind of always having emotions, but yeah. Probably because they both fuck around and fought against people without a care in the world, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Junko nodded and says, I see. That's quite interesting. Then who's the big guy with the tattoo on his forehead? Or mostly not forehead, to the side of his head. That's Draken. Also known as, mostly she said his real name, and this is where Junko says, oh, I see. So, Draken is second in command of, what's it called? Well, yeah, mostly vice commander of, what's it called, Toma. And, of course, Issei is vice commander of Black Dragon. So, of course, they're basically just talking about random shit in both gangs. And, of course, alliances and other stuff. But, yeah. I see. This is where Junko says, huh. I wonder, wait, who's actually going to pay for all this, stuff in this restaurant? Issei most of the time. Issei? How much money does he even have? Well, for Black Dragon and mostly, Toma, since they do kind of illegal businesses, except for other stuff, they do kind of sell drugs somewhat and other stuff, but not hardcore drugs, of course, like weed and other stuff. This is where, well, Valerie says, so that's how Issei got the weed. Please don't tell me he actually smokes it half the time. This is where Yuzaha says, I don't catch him much in the act, but he does do it. I know, but the reason why he does it is because weed has a weird kind of effect for people to get high and kind of just loosen up a little bit. But yeah. This is where, well, he's always kind of stricken and annoyed and, of course, more bothered with a lot of shit. And mostly a lot of people kind of ask him for this or that or whatever. But yeah. Of course, that's he's also a counter for the money and other things for Black Dragon. But yeah. But of course, there's nothing other way that they kind of make money. There's also Taichu's way to kind of fight. Mostly a fighting kind of arena battle thing, yeah, he's crazy about to make money through that. Of course, the only thing they don't do is mostly both games they don't do is prostitution or any of that shit. Because first of all, that shit, yeah, no. Issei gets annoyed, and of course his skin crawls, and of course wants to just murder, and whoever just thinks of that shit. This is where, well, we'll see if Valerie says, I see. So he has standards. Yes. There's also other rules where, like, in both gangs, they refuse to do any actions, even though it's, yeah, they're delinquents and other things, but R-ing, like, females or any of that is out of the question because, yeah. This is where, well, Valerie says, I see. So Issei doesn't go into any of that. Except for being a pervert. This is where, well, Yusa has a kind of ex-pervert because he doesn't like peeping on both of us. Actually, he never even liked doing that when he was in middle school. You remember that, Junko, right? You remember those two perverts that were in your class and tried to peep on you one time? And they never did peep on you again? This is where, well, mostly Junko's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about those two. I forgot their names. Zin and Zain, I think it was like something like that. Yusaha kind of said. This is where, well, mostly Junko nodded. Yeah, both of them were in the hospital for literally kind of pissing off Issei because they both bumped into Issei when they were trying to run away from your kind of older sister, from killing them. And of course, both of them bumped into Issei, and Issei wondered what they were doing, but of course didn't like ask any more questions, just beat the shit out of them and kind of put them in the hospital. But yeah, this is where, well, Junko switches and says, I see. No wonder my older sister did tell me something about that. This is where, well, mostly Yusuha says, yeah. This is where we go into Issei and Draken just talking. This is where Issei and Draken kind of just said. So, well, mostly Issei said. So you want me to go against, what's it called, mostly? So you want me to go against Izawa Kurakara, isn't it? This is where Draken says, yeah. I know it's so much for me to ask, but pretty much I don't want Mikey to go in. Issei says, I agree to it. Wait, what? This is where Draken looks at Issei, and this is where he noticed that Issei is still drinking. This is where Draken says, are you sure you don't want to think about this? Don't you want to think about this when you're, like, basically, like, sober up and not drunken? Issei says, the alcohol didn't help me too much, it just burned my throat much. But yeah, I have a high tolerance to anything that isn't vodka. But not the point. I agree to this because I know how, what's it called, Izuwa is kind of against Mikey. When me and Mikey went against him a while ago through, well, mostly in middle school, he didn't hold back against Mikey. He was planning to kill Mikey. He hates Mikey entirely. He hates Mikey's existence, so of course, I don't mind going against him by myself. This is why, well, Draken was shocked. Of course, Draken nodded and says, I understand. Are you gonna tell Taiju about this? No. Because if I do, mostly Taiju's going to accidentally spill the beans towards Yuzu and the others, and I don't want to make Yuzu or Sinu kind of worry. I see. You're still kind as ever. He just says, don't bullcrap me too much. But still, I don't know if I should bring other members of Black Dragon to fight against Tenju. And of course, with Valhalla being a pain in the ass, I might have to eliminate faster than them kind of being alliance together. Kisuke and Hanma are going to have to be eliminated much faster than normal. I see. Hey, Draken, promise me something. You don't tell what's called Mikey about my plan of actually eliminating Valhalla much faster than we both planned it. This is where Draken sighs and says, fine. Who exactly are you gonna go against? Well, not the temporary leader himself, but actually Kisuke, because I know Kisuke is the actual true leader. I won't go against Kazutora or anyone else. We'll just have to eliminate Kisuke. Hanma will just be a fucking bonus because I'm willing to beat the shit of a stupid zombie. But yeah. This is where Issei cracked his neck and says, Well, I should probably go back to my dates before Emma decides to somehow steal them. This is where Chuck and Chuckles says, that is true. Well, it's nice to be seeing you again, but still, we should probably be going on each other way of our dates. Yeah, well, in your case, it's multiple dates. For me, it's just one date. Yeah, screw you, Jock, and shut the hell up for a second. This is where they get back, and of course, this is where, well, Issei noticed that mostly the person is pouring, mostly the servant is pouring alcohol onto mostly Enmo's kind of drink. And it's none of the bourbon, and this is where Enma was about to drink it until Issei took it out of her hand and says, nope, that's not for you. This is where Enma pouts and says, what is it then? This is where Issei says, just ask for wine. This is not something that you should be drinking, especially when you're on your date with what's called Jockin. This is where, well, Enma says, hey Jockin, can we stay here? This is where Jockin says, of course, we're gonna stay here anyway. We got in here anyway, I'm literally just gonna eat something. This is where, well, Enma says, yes. This is where she jumps out of the chair, and of course, this is to go with Jockin. But yeah, Issei jumps back on his chair, but this is where he starts drinking more. And this is where, well, mostly, before he keeps drinking more, his, what's it called, like, glass was actually checking from his hand. And an instant, this is where he says, like, why am I not drinking anything? And why do I feel like I'm drinking air? This is where, well, he noticed that, mostly someone took his alcohol, and it was none other than, what's it called? Someone with brownish hair, and of course having, well, mostly hazelish eyes. This is where she normally had glasses, but of course, where, well, she doesn't have glasses, and she's wearing a kind of outfit of, well. So, of course, this is where, well, she's wearing a kind of, like, kimono that's kind of, like, it looks like the temple kind of, well, mostly temple clothing that mostly Akano wears, but of course, it's like a kimono. And it's kind of like white, but has purple instead. This is where she has her hair kind of tied up into a ponytail. This is where, well, she has it all nice. And of course, this is where she has her hazelish eyes kind of like looking into Issei's kind of brownish eyes. Almost dark purple eyes. So Issei says, are you fucking serious? Not someone else I didn't want to see. What are you doing here, Aika? This is where Aika says, well, I kind of did get a text from, well, mostly, well, someone that she's here because mostly she's on a secret date and her secret date never came, so yeah. Damn. That sucks for them, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't matter. Why the hell are you here, and why are you taking my bourbon away from me and literally not letting me drink? This is where, well, mostly I can say it's bourbon. So this is what it is. No wonder it has a very powerful smell and hurting my nose. Issei. You know, or mostly ice, can. You know, drinking this actually hurts your throat, doesn't it? Issei says, it's something that actually keeps me awake. And I'd rather kind of, not even stay awake, I'd rather just be absolutely drunk and out of my fucking, never mind. Still, just give me back my shit. This is where, well, I guess they, no. This is where, well, someone kind of took it away from her and kind of just smelled it and said, ugh, it actually smells pretty bad. Or, it doesn't smell bad, it's just very powerful alcohol. This is where a girl with kind of like longish dark brown hair has, or mostly she has brownish hair, of course, longish a little bit, of course she kind of has kind of, what's it called? She has reddish eyes, and of course, next to her is a girl with kind of white hair, but shorter than the other one, and of course, bluish eyes, and this is where, well, they're wearing a kimono similar to that of, what's it called? Mostly, Aikas, and of course, they wear, well, they are kind of just smelling at this. Nope, this is powerful as hell. Nope. This is where they kind of get their nose kind of hurt a little bit from it. And of course, their throat kind of hurt a little bit. That's where Issei says, okay, if you don't mind me. Issei takes it from both of their hands. And of course, Issei drinks it all and says, still powerful as hell. Issei says, still, if you don't mind me, I'm literally just fucking drinking this because I just don't care that much. This is where Aika smiles and says, well, if you don't care too much, then you won't mind if me and my two sisters and what's it called, two friends and of course another girl sits here, right? Issei says, there'll be 6 people sitting here. No. This is where, well, Yusuha managed to cover his mouth and say, we don't really mind. This is where Issei kind of say, This is where, well, mostly Zunia kind of managed to grab his mouth and says, yeah, we don't really mind. If you're another friend of Issei-kun, then we really don't mind. This is where Issei's like saying, But yeah, this is where it well. They smile, and of course, they wear it well. Mostly they sat down, and of course, they do call upon, well, two other girls, or mostly not three, but just two. Of course, one had brownish hair, and of course, the other one has pinkish hair. They both have brownish eyes, and of course, they wear it well, as none of them was called Catherine and Moriyama. This is where, well, Catherine and Moriyama are just shocked to see Issei, and Issei is just right now saying, Sir, this is where he asks the servant person, and this is where the person says, the person asks Issei, do you need something? Issei says, please, for the love of God, give me some fucking vodka or something much more powerful. That actually makes me fucking pass out, break down, and literally just say, fuck it. This is where, well, the person says, sure, sir, let me go get something else. This is where, well, Issei kind of, right now, is crying with anime tears. Not of joy, just fucking horror, because why so many people here in this table, but yeah. Of course, he doesn't mind both of his girls sitting next to him really close. Like, really close. This is where, well... But, of course, Issei is just quite annoyed when there's a lot of people in this table. Of course, where, well, the manager asked Issei if he wants to sit into a bigger table. Issei said, sure. This is where, well, all the girls kind of get up and kind of go to another table, which is much bigger than the other one, but yeah. This is where, well... Issei gets his alcohol, and this is where, well, he was about to start drinking until mostly Yusa managed to take it away from him and says, Yusa, why the hell do you keep doing this? Or why do people just keep taking my shit? First of all, we are not just done talking, okay? You can't just go off and be drunken as hell. This is where Issei said, yes, I understand. This is where, well, Yusa says, good. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm putting this in the middle of the table so you don't get it. Issei says, ugh. No, my fucking alcohol. Fuck. Fine. This will work well. Everyone is just talking until mostly no one did notice this, but this is where it used to use a little bit of void gear, or mostly just voidability. And a black hole appears underneath the alcohol, and this is where, well, the alcohol drops into the black hole, and this is where Issei opens his mouth from the top. He knows that no one is actually watching them entirely. And if they did, he managed to, well, just erase their memory. This is where, well, he got up in the air, and this is where, well, Issei kind of noticed and says, Issei, what are you? This is where alcohol just appear on the black hole, and this is where the, what's it called, like the liquid falls down into his mouth, and this is where Issei goes, This is where he managed to catch the bottle and says, you never did tell me that I couldn't use my abilities. This is where Issei says, Issei! This is where Issei says, oh shit. This is where Issei says, hey Issei. This is where Issei is glaring at what's it called, Issei, and Issei saying, if it makes you feel any better, no one saw me do that. This is where Issei says, she's gonna be extremely drunken. God damn it, stop doing this. This is where, well, the manager came, well, mostly a servant came and says, do you people want dessert, or are you ready to pay? This is where Issei says, sure, I would like some desserts. This is where the person nodded. This is where he kind of takes the ordering from Issei. And this is where, well, the other girls kind of order something. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Issei said, well, this actually feels sleepy. I'm about to fall asleep. This is where, well, Issei kind of just, like, takes a short little nap. This is where Issei just sweat dropping, but yeah. But we go into about 5 minutes later, of course. This is where they bring the desserts. And, of course, Issei gets its own dessert, eats it, but yeah. This is where the others get it, but yeah. This is where we go into 30 minutes later. This is where Issei is paying mostly the check or whatever. And this is where, well, they all are getting out of the restaurant. Issei says, finally, I'm going home. I'm literally going to sleep. I'm going to just not care too much. Smoke some weed, go sleep. Best way. This is where Issei was about to start walking until his arm was grabbed by Yusaha, and Yusaha says, this night isn't over until, what's it called? Well, until you're actually very pleased. Issei kind of notices how kind of look of kind of being lustful as hell. He says, what do you mean, please? Wait, you're not talking about, oh. This is where Issei says, how about, we're kind of moving way too fast. This is where, well, mostly someone grabs his other hand, and of course, another Junko, and Junko says, oh, come on, that's not that bad. Besides, we're still kind of hyper and full about the food and other things. So, is this all you have planned, Yusaha? This is a question, Yusaha. Yusaha says, nope. We also wanted to go to a movie. So, yeah, of course. It looks like the movie we're about to be right on time. So, yeah, let's just get over there. This is where, well, after that we can go to other stuff, but yeah. This is where, well, he said, start off to say, I'm literally just being dragged along. Fuck it. I'll go along, but I won't have any more alcohol. Damn it. Should I call in one of the Black Dragon, what's it called? Black Dragon, game members just to bring me some alcohol? Maybe I should do that. This is where Issei looks into his phone and just kind of start texting someone saying, hey, bring me some goddamn alcohol, bastard. This is where, well, mostly one of the members kind of says, yes, sir. This is where, well, Issei said, okay, just wait for the alcohol. Just go into the movies. Look like you need to go use the bathroom. Go get the alcohol and come back. Yes, that's what I should do. Yes, where, well, you saw how kind of listens and says, what are you kind of smiling about? You say, oh, nothing, nothing at all. You just, I want to know what kind of movie we're watching about. Yes, where, well, you saw how kind of switch up and say, well, we're going to go watch a romance movie. This is where, well, Issa said, oh, okay, that's kind of plus 18. Wait, what? I thought you didn't like watching any of that that much most of the time. Issa says, well, I don't, but, I thought it might be able to turn you kind of on, well, look at the time. We should probably be hurrying up. This is where Issa narrowed his eyes and said, what the? Whatever. This is where his partners are right now inside just chuckling, laughing, and just seeing how Issei is miserable. But yeah, this is where Issa said, I hate you guys. Stop laughing. Whatever. This is where, well, we go into the movies, but yeah. But for right now, I'm going to leave it off here for part 3 of this What If. Other than that, have a nice day, night, whatever, and bye. But yeah.